Badlands. Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Liberty Den. And we lost CanCon.
It's probably at Taco Bell or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was going to be the one who talked about the first story.
He had some breaking news or something, he said.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's okay, guys, because I'm going to break that news right now for all of y'all, and I'm going to do a really bad job at it because I'm cribbing it off of what CanCon said before we started. What I understand, the Attorney General.
We could just wait for him because he'll get all butt hurt and pissy if we don't let him do it.
That's more fun.
How about we talk about our first sponsor real quick and then
damn straight.
Okay, we got Love Litters.
Attention, all you Badlanders with purring pals and feathered friends. Say hello to Love Litters. 100% pure, kiln-dried wood, free from chemicals and oh so kind to Mother Earth. No dust, no mess, and no toxins. Just a lightweight solution that's gentle on your wallet and even gentler in your home. Our biodegradable litter is crafted from wood, destined for landfills, giving it a new purpose in your pet's life. Cats love it. Our astonishing formula works like magic to neutralize that notorious cat urine odor, keeping your home pine fresh and welcoming. For bird lovers, it zaps moisture from bird droppings, crumbling them away, all while being safe if pecked at or ingested. For reptiles and critters, too. Our mix is crafted to dilute the pine scent, ensuring those little lungs stay happy and healthy. Plus, every 30-pound bag of Love Litters will last up to 6 months, saving you money. Transform your pet care routine today. Visit badlandsmedia.tv/litter. That's badlandsmedia.tv/litter. And breathe easy with a litter that loves your pet as much as you do.
Awesome. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Love Litters, for sponsoring the show. And thank you to those watching for always supporting our sponsors. It's a great way to support us. Make sure you guys also hit that thumbs up. CanCon, you have some breaking news to do?
I do.
Do you have a siren to sound?
Give me the siren, breaking, most important news ever. This is actually really big news. This is really big news. This morning, last night on SITREP, we had Kyle Seraphin on, and he talked about the 6 executive agents, executive assistant directors that were fired from the FBI. Mm-hmm. And he reported exclusively that somewhere around 25 special agents in charge have also been fired or given that same ultimatum. Now I can officially report that acting director of the FBI, Brian Driscoll, has sent an email to all FBI field offices requiring them at the demand of the U.S. Attorney General's office to provide all FBI personnel, current and former, involved in January 6 investigations and prosecutions.
Nice.
Hell yes.
Sources and methods.
What's that?
Sources and methods.
It says personnel, not agents. So that would hopefully include CHSs, assets, everything, man.
I hope it includes all of the people who actually perpetrated J6, because they all work for the FBI and the CIA and Mossad and just random gangsters in Ukraine.
What? Okay, so you get this email, you're a dude, and you know that you have some people in there that are CHSs or whatever. What is preventing you from not sending in certain names, and what is allowing the FBI people or the AG to know that you withheld information?
Well, so as Kyle kind of alluded to last night, and he's still in touch with a lot of people who are trying to do the right thing behind the scenes. Agents are feeling more empowered now to come out and they're not afraid that it's going to be a career ender if they blow the whistle or if they, tell the truth about what's going on. And so hopefully there's enough people that are involved that they will do the right thing.
You didn't answer my question.
Do you think there's also a chance that the Department of Justice already knows who most of these people are?
Well, there's also that possibility as well, and you're going to make your life far more miserable if you
try to hide it.
Exactly. And I think you're going to start seeing these low level, GS 13 and 14s. I think those are the numbers that normal special agents would be, but I think you're going to start seeing them try and save face for their career. We've cut out a whole generation of FBI corruption by removing the executive assistant directors and the SACs. So, you cut out a whole generation of yes men. What? I knew you were going to say something about
the ball sacks. Yeah.
All the
that's good news. I'm excited. I hope we actually get some answers. It would be great to get like more details. When they came out with that report, was it Ray? Or no, it was the IG who came out with the report saying there were some CHSs there, but it was more tangent. It wasn't directly related or something stupid. I don't even remember. But it seems contrary to what we've been told by other people familiar with the matter. So I don't know. It'd be nice to get some actual details.
I'm not sure. But did you see the letter that Mike Davis posted about the DOJ from today?
No, there's so much news flying around.
No
pun intended.
Memorandum for the Director, Executive Office for U.S. Attorneys, Deputy Director, blah, blah, blah. You are directed to take all necessary steps to effectuate the termination of the employees identified in Appendix A, effective immediately. And these are related to, they were initially hired as term employees at the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia to support casework relating to events that occurred at or near the Capitol on January 6th.
What's the TLDR?
That's pretty much it. I think it's 30 employees at the DOJ that are getting shit canned today.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, they're going to town on this. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Now, let me just add this. One of the things that's interesting about the email that's put out there is, in addition to the J6 agents, it also has another case that they want all FBI personnel related to this case, and it's the United States versus Haniyeh. And that's referring to et al. That's referring to Ismail Haniyeh, which was the political leader of Hamas. And he was executed by Israel, like killed in an airstrike, allegedly or reportedly. And there's 5 other individuals there named that. 2 of them are killed, 3 are still alive. But for some reason, the DOJ wants all of the FBI personnel that were involved in that investigation and prosecution to be reported up to the AG as well, which is really interesting.
Weird.
Yes. Yeah.
How long ago was that, Brian? How long ago was that guy taken out?
Came out tonight. Haniyeh was killed in, I think, July of 2024.
The FBI was investigating him overseas?
Apparently, because the other guys were in like Doha, one's in Lebanon, one was in Syria, I think. I don't. Yeah, my phone heard me say Syria and it went to Siri. Stupid phone.
John, if you're curious, I asked the Chat GPT potential legal violations involved in the event that field office heads were to provide false information, and if it's in the if the director of the FBI is demanding this information as part of any kind of criminal investigation, then lying about it as the field head or the head of the field office, you would be guilty of false statements to federal officials, obstruction of justice, perjury if it's coordination among field offices, conspiracy to defraud the United States, misprision of a felony. It's enough to get them lots of prison time.
Brady violation, potentially, I'm assuming.
A Brady violation, I think, is for prosecutors, right?
Yeah. But I mean, you're withholding evidence. I guess it just depends. But plenty of reasons not to do it. What's up, Zach?
Just for the record, I wasn't really pooping. I was waiting for my stream to end. And then,
did you say you were pooping?
Did somebody say you were pooping?
Lisa did. She just said, I just told everybody in the chat you were pooping. Oh. I assumed that you would have thrown it up on the screen, John. And any opportunity to humiliate one of your coworkers is usually snatched upon. So,
hey, everybody poops, Zach.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
You know what? I have a better one of that. I've been waiting to save this. So hold on. I just gotta find it because I have no idea where. Oh, where was this?
How could you improve on that?
Oh,
It's gonna be hard.
You just wait. Give me a couple minutes.
Okay. All right. Take
Sounds
your
like you
time.
have a spy in your camp, Zach.
Oh, that's definitely Lisa. She's she's the one who's provided all the intel about my questionable past.
So, did you hear the great news, Zach?
If you're referring to the news that broke on your show with Alpha about the FBI cleaning out, no, what great new news has broken since then?
So they confirmed that it's actually 8 senior executives, not 6. That was initially reported. It's actually 8. The FBI has now sent out a memo or an email to all of the field offices demanding that they turn over all personnel, current and former, involved in January 6th to the Attorney General.
Yes, and I know that they fired like a whole slew of other people that were involved in their operations against Trump. Okay, yeah, this is good. This is good. I mean, I love hearing it, but I expected it, right? I mean, it was something that was necessary if we were really going to cut out the cancer.
What I like is it's just happening so quickly. I mean, we're a week and a half into his term, and so much has happened. It's insane. I might have to just retire and for the next 4 years and stay home and follow the news all day. It's crazy.
Patrick, what's your take? I mean, are you skeptical, or are you like, I'm in? Are we here for it?
Mark Mitchell of Rasmussen Reports notes something interesting to me, that the percentage of Americans who said we're on the right track hasn't been this high since right before the enemy busted out the COVID weapon. But we've gotten there after 10 days of a presidency instead of 3 years. So I think that it's safe to say that Trump is accelerating in ways that we don't fully appreciate yet.
Okay. Yeah. I'm with you.
What I think.
Ending birthright citizenship by executive order, that is a fever dream for me. It's amazing. And fight it out. It's absolutely essential. The fact that we got saddled with, okay, they could just dive into the end zone and squeeze out a baby. It's like, what? That's madness.
Well,
so
it would be
that. Yeah.
Even more tantalizing is the idea that they might say, not only am I ending it here, but I'm also retroactively removing citizenship from people who never should have had it in the first place, which would immediately make Kamala Harris having never been an American citizen. I mean, the argument can already be made that she wasn't and isn't. But if that happened, then, oh my God.
Okay, it's better. Okay, it's better. It's better.
Oh my God!
You do. Oh,
dude.
Okay, that's got the uncanny
It's not my teeth, though.
Those are not Zach's teeth.
Not even so good.
Oh my God.
He's got his mouth is too pretty now.
Oh my God! How much did you pay to make those?
I paid $0. Somebody sent me actually no, the guy who made that video of me with
Phil.
Trump signing the executive orders, Phil.
Yeah.
I messaged him after I got that picture. I was like, can you make this gayer? And he succeeded.
Muffin, the answer's no. Go back to mom.
But sorry to interrupt. Whatever we were talking about. It was worth it.
That was way more important.
That was totally worth it. We're talking about the winning.
Lots of winning going on.
Yeah, feel real good about it.
You see what he did today?
I mean, what else was there? Tell me. Just tell me.
Not
entertained.
He snuck one in. I'll show you, and we'll talk about this on the Power Hour tomorrow. So we don't need to go too much into detail, but it should be on the presidential actions. But it's not. But it is a presidential action. It's under articles. So whoever's in charge of the website, you're slacking again.
Or maybe they're trying to slide one past the goalie.
They might be, because this is a big one.
Slide anything past Patel Patriot, though.
Limiting lame duck collective bargaining agreements that improperly attempt to constrain the new president. Patrick, read.
Yes, sir.
Read these.
Such last-minute lame duck CBAs which purport to bind a new president to his predecessor's policies, run counter to America's system of democratic self-government. CBAs quickly negotiated to include extreme policies on the eve of a new administration are purposefully designed to circumvent the will of the people and our democracy. Such CBAs inhibit the president's authority to manage the executive branch by tying his hands with inefficient and ineffective practices. The Supreme Court has explained that a president, quote, cannot choose to bind his successors by diminishing their powers. Therefore, it is the policy of the executive branch that CBAs executed in the 30 days prior to the inauguration of a new president and that purport to remain in effect despite the inauguration of a new president and administration shall not be approved.
And he like gives an example here of the Department of Education. They negotiated a CBA 3 days before Trump's inauguration.
I remember that. Yeah.
Prohibiting the agency from returning remote employees to their offices. But, yeah. That stuff holds. And Trump, brilliant. Love it.
It holds because what are they going to do?
No, I'm saying none of the CBAs hold.
I want to know when we stop being living in a dictatorship of pedophiles in black robes. Marbury versus Madison caused this country to be a dictatorship of judges. And I know it had the beautiful language that anything repugnant to the Constitution is no law. But why do the jackoffs in black robes get to decide what is repugnant to the Constitution? So at this point, we see any old federal judge in any part of the United States can put an injunction on Donald Trump ending birthright citizenship. I don't think they have that power.
That's a great point. And interesting thought I'm having. Trump is like going after everybody, anything and everybody that could possibly thwart him in this second, third term, whatever you want to call it. Is there a way for him to like go after judges too? And just you are no longer in your judge position. We're going to put somebody else in.
Abraham Lincoln was going to have his own police arrest the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court before one of his advisors talked him out of it.
Baller.
I was going to say legal, like criminal actions would certainly be a way to go about it. And undoubtedly, there are plenty of corrupt judges out there that I would think they could probably get them on any number of charges.
I've got all sorts of novel interpretations of the law that can be used to arrest literally any judge.
Hey, precedent was set, right? I mean, they can come up with just about anything to arrest even an ex-president, right? So why would judges be off the table? I think that's definitely on the agenda, Patrick.
So, give you an example. Trump's first action in 2017 was to put a pause on immigration from 6 countries, and then just some random judge said no. Okay. But the law said the president shall be allowed to stop the invasion or ingress or whatever it is of any person or class of people as he deems is necessary for the safety of the American people. All right. So when a judge says that's not what the law says, the judge is just lying. He's subverting the law in our faces. He's making us watch him do it. Put handcuffs on him. Toss him in jail. There's got to be a good law that says, okay, you've just violated the law by obstruction of justice, obstruction of executive authority. I don't know. There's got to be something on the books you can use.
I don't know. Without actual precedent. I mean, there's certainly, if you can prove they committed a crime.
But dude,
man, I wish Lincoln would have done that just so there was precedent.
I mean, even if they didn't prove that they committed a crime, you just bring the charges in the investigation and force them to resign in light of it. And, then you solve the problem because they're no longer a judge. I mean, think about that congressman that was forced to resign because the FBI brought charges against him saying that, improper campaign donations or something like that. He was convicted.
Santos?
Not George Santos. There was another one who recently had his guilty verdict overturned because they held the trial in Los Angeles, which is not where the alleged crime had taken place. It came out this week. I can't remember his name.
I just don't know if I want to I don't want to go after these people for crimes unless they committed crimes. Like I don't just want them to go after them just to get him out. Like,
Yeah,
I wish there was a way that Trump could just remove the appointees that Biden or Obama and these people put in there.
Well, I
Because
mean,
think about it, if you're the president, I mean, I guess I get some of the bipartisanship stuff, but like, you should be able to just get a full clean slate on everything.
well, some of these judges are lifetime appointments, though. That's the problem.
I know.
And I think that you would need a excuse me, you would need to force them out. And I suppose that, you know, there's all sorts of clandestine measures that could be taken behind the scenes to force them. Well, you know, John, I got to be really honest. I'm all about dark MAGA. Okay. Like, I'm 100% ready for as many pressure points as need to be pushed to have them taken care of behind the scenes, if that's what it comes down to. Like, if you've got a judge who the only way to remove them is if they die or if they willingly step down from the bench, if you have to, behind the scenes, show them pictures of, you know, blackmail material that somebody else has been holding over their heads and say, this is coming out, your family's going to know about it, and you're also going to go to prison. We just need you to step down. Then they step down and you go ahead and show them anyways and put them in prison. I'm okay with that. I understand people don't want to set a nasty precedent, but think about how many freaking precedents have been set already.
It's not even the precedent. It's just like the morality of it. I don't know if I'm okay.
So morality and these fuckers, like, really, honestly, I mean, I think
we're better than that.
Well, we may be, but at this point, I think that everything is on the table.
Well,
like, he's not, Patrick.
I think we're talking about different things.
Most of these judges are probably corrupt. Like, I mean, is it safe to say that a lot of them take bribes or, you know, do what's in their personal best interest that doesn't always align with, you know, fairness in the courtroom? Is there a way to go after them for corruption?
That's different, though. Yeah. I'm talking about like just people,
just removing them.
Just like the ones that are out there that are ideologues, and they think it's like they're fighting. Judges. It's virtuous for them to stop Trump. Like, I'm not saying these people are committing crimes. Maybe they do. If we have evidence of crimes, I'm totally down for that. Like, going after the people that have committed crimes. I'm talking about these other ones. Like, we can't just force these people out with blackmail. Really, if there's
really think about it. Think about the way our system has been operating for the past couple of generations. Think about, where do you think the limits of judicial power lie? Because a judge in any part of the United States can instantly halt any presidential action with the stroke of a pen.
Yeah, that's crazy.
When does it become, do we get sick of it and put handcuffs on them, not for some trumped up shit, but for doing that? That should be a crime. So I don't really think we need to drum up a crime. I just think we need to haul them into a van and say, you can't do that. You just lost your job. Now you get to go to prison. We'll figure out what to charge you with.
I mean, they can do that, though.
Well, I mean, I think that going after them in a criminal sense is really the only way that makes sense, John, if you want to go with some measure of morality. The reason I think that all bets should be off is because for years, I have watched people say, we can't do what they do because we're better than that. And people get stomped all over. And the people who are willing to go farther than you are the ones who inevitably end up winning because they don't have morality. So you have to use the tools that are at your disposal. Federal judges, just like the Supreme Court judges, are lifetime appointments. The only way they can be removed is if they commit a crime and you put them in prison or they willingly step down. So if there is no crime that can be proven to behind the scenes, people don't need to know about it, okay? But there are people out there who I would imagine have the ability and, you know, would be perfectly comfortable doing so, going in and putting pressure on them and telling that because of these extrajudicial actions that you've taken, there is supposed to be a separation of powers within these various branches of the federal government to allow for the checks and balances. But Patrick is right. All too often, the judiciary has gone a step beyond, and because they are untouchable in a lifetime appointment, they make decisions and they set precedent within the legal system that are very difficult to unravel. And the only, short of having them removed and then having those issues revisited in a different venue, there's really nothing else you can do about it unless you put some pressure on them with, threat of bodily harm or perhaps financial ruin.
Or bodily ruin.
Yeah. Physical harm.
That's something Chief Justice Roberts wrote about in his annual brief or whatever it was about threats against the judiciary. coming from politicians. And then interestingly enough, Beryl Howell and all the other corrupt DC judges put out this like excoriating statement about Trump and his pardons, like criticizing him for that. It was like completely and totally contradictory to what Justice Roberts put out in his report. But yeah, I mean, look, these judges, lifetime appointments, not elected, appointed and sit there through 3 or 4 different presidencies. I'm with you guys. Something's got to change on that.
Now, somebody in the chat here, EC was here. Federal judges can be impeached. This is a really good point. Impeachment is a political process and does not require any specific crime to have been committed. It has been way too long since this power has been exercised. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. That's how we do it. We don't need to go after them for crimes and blackmail them and shit.
Were you watching the hearing with Kash Patel?
Yep.
So you need to get 2/3 of those degenerate fucks to vote to remove one of these judges. Pass. I pass.
Yeah. Hopefully we fix our elections before the midterms. Maybe next, 2026 or 27, 28, we can do it. I don't know.
So that was the scary thing about the 2024 election, is that we were very close to having a super majority in the Senate. And of course, I think we all know that we would have had a chunky majority in the House. But all we need is a simple majority in the House. But if we had a super majority in the Senate, we could have gone like bull in a china shop on the judiciary.
Mm-hmm. This is the problem. I mean, the idea of impeachment is, totally in line with the history and tradition of the United States. It hasn't been used very often. I just looked it up. 15 federal judges have been impeached throughout the entire history of the United States. Only 8 have been convicted. And that's because you have to have essentially a supermajority. You've got to have a 2/3 vote in the Senate after the trial in the House. And we simply don't have the numbers. I mean, Democrats are not going to willingly vote to remove a judge that they know has been advancing their agenda. And the problem is the people who control the levers of power in regards to the impeachments. It's simply something that I don't think is possible at this time. So I think that proving some type of illegal activity, which would force them into a criminal trial and, necessarily forcing them off the bench. I think that's the only way that really makes sense if we want to address this in the interim.
That's the weaponization of government. That's us doing the same fucking thing to them.
No, that's not the weaponization of government, because if they actually committed crimes, we are not using the powers of the government.
All right, so
we don't know if they did.
It is not in the tradition of English common law to target somebody and go looking for a crime. You're not allowed to do that. I agree with you on that. However, what about a compromise? What if the president simply says, "Oh, Judge Boy, okay, nice decision you got there. Why don't you come enforce it? Why don't you come on over here and enforce it? Let's see how it works." And there is your answer. Simply ignore the judge. Let him sit in his faggoty little robe and issue his ruling and tell him to fuck himself. That's what Andrew Jackson did.
I like that.
So Steve says, Zach, only one president has ever been impeached twice. There's that. So anything is possible. I fully agree with you. Okay. But I'm also talking about likelihood. I'm talking about probability based upon the set of circumstances we're working with right now. And I agree with you, John. Okay, like using the power of the federal government to do to judges what they did to Donald Trump certainly is unsavory. I don't like that as a precedent that's set. I'm talking about the high likelihood that there are judges out there, federal judges that have a lifetime appointment, that have made decisions that are not in the interest or the safety of the United States of America, who likely have things that could very easily be used as a precept to indict them. It wouldn't necessarily mean that we have to go and start investigating them or start with a crime and then see how we could apply it to them. I think that there's ample evidence that exists out there that is simply just ignored, and people ignore it because, well, they're a judge and we don't want to, because they're not Donald Trump or whatever.
I don't know I don't hear many situations where, there's even accusations. I mean, it's rare. It happens. I know it does, but it's not like a common thing where judges all over are like, oh, it's rumored this guy's committed a crime or done this bad thing. I feel like it would be fishing expeditions.
Let's look at Judge Juan Marchand as a case study. Okay.
Okay, but that's one judge out of how many?
Well, you got to start somewhere, right? I mean, like I'm talking about.
We don't need to go down specific avenues like this, but I'm just saying generally, like there's got to be something. Okay, but Patrick, what you said with just the president just ignoring them, I'm good with that. But is it something all of us can do? Like, are all of us just allowed to be like, you know what? Fuck that.
It depends on what the judge does. So if there is a dispute between two citizens and the judge rules in favor of one of the citizens, then there's probably not much you can do about it. But then again, you went to the court for redress of grievances in the first place. Now, a judge going after a public official who is elected by the people, what police power does the judge have? None. We do it by consent, and our government does it by consent. And all we have to do to say to the judges, we no longer live under your dictatorship, is just to say no.
Baba Ganoush. I like that. I like that. Here's the thing that is dangerous, John, if you're worried about setting an unsavory precedent, is ignoring the history and tradition of the United States by having the president just proclaim, I don't like that ruling, so we're not going to abide by it. I mean, the reason that the system is set up in the way that it is so that nobody has any more power over the other, theoretically, all right? I don't think it actually works like that. But I think that, okay, let's start with a judge makes a decision that clearly is in violation of the Constitution, will lead to irreparable harm to the people and the nation. I mean, why don't we start with a ruling like that?
That's what the appeals courts are for, though.
Well, it may be, but then you've got corrupt appeals court judges who are also lifetime appointments that are perhaps coming from the same stock. I mean, we've got proclaimed communists who are actually sitting on the federal bench. I mean, you had a judge in Illinois, I'm sure everybody remembers, that found that it was totally legal and appropriate for an illegal alien to have the protection of the Second Amendment, that they could own firearms simply because they were present in the United States of America. I mean, that makes absolutely no sense. But yet it's, well, I mean, I don't know exactly what happened with that. But as far as I know, that ruling still stands. Again, this is in Illinois, so it's going to get appealed in Illinois. And so the Illinois appeals court is then likely going to defer to the judge that made that decision.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying the justice system is perfect, but there's a system in place for those situations you just outlined, like the appeals court. And if they keep getting it wrong, that's what the Supreme Court's supposed to get right if it gets there. But I don't know. I don't think going after judges with crimes. I'm a retribution guy. I'm not a revenge guy.
No, I don't think it's about revenge, though, John. I think it's about draining the swamp. If there are swamp creatures in the judiciary, which we know there are, they have to be dealt with. And I think, Trump started in his first term. He put in a record number of federal judges, and he also turned over 3 seats in the Supreme Court. That's, you got to start at the top and work your way down. But I think it's all part of the swamp draining. And if there are corrupt judges that you can, ostensibly prove that they committed crimes, make an example of 1 or 2 of them, and maybe it'll stop. I mean, I think far too long, like Patrick started this whole conversation with, they've gotten away with whatever they want to do. That little courtroom is their universe, and they're a god in there. And I think all it takes is a couple of precedents by setting an example of, hey, we'll go after judges if they're corrupt. It doesn't have to be all of them. It just needs to be 1 or 2 of them. And I'm sure there's plenty of cases you can go back and look at in retrospect, and look at how a case was reviewed and judged, and if it's corrupt, prove it in court and put these people away, and then I think everybody else might fall in line. You'll never drain every swamp creature, but you'll get far. And I think, I'm sure it's on the agenda. I'll have to say, if we're cleaning up America and we're going to return America to the people, I'm sure having a corrupt judiciary is not something that's going to get overlooked.
That's a great point. That's what I was going to say next. I think Trump's got to have a plan for this. I'll be curious to see what he does. Yeah, he knows it's an issue as much as anybody.
Being able to read the law and know what it says is not as hard as lawyers like to make it out to be. And when a judge does something just plainly lawless, The judge doing the lawless thing knows that it's lawless, and the judges around him also know that it's lawless. A left-wing judge can play it straight if the judge wants to. We saw that demonstrated in Ash's case. So I think there's got to be some kind of judicial accountability for judges who are very obviously not following the law. And right now we have nothing like that, no mechanism in place to deal with it.
Yes, that's what I was just about to suggest. Like, what if we put in place a federal bench judicial review board, like an ethical review board or something like that? Like that would, on the regular, say every 5 years, would examine the the financial connections, the decisions overall made on the bench, and place that against the idea of safety and security and preservation of the Constitution. Okay, like a judge that makes decisions that clearly go in opposition to those ideas, or that has mysterious financial connections to political groups or to overt political parties. Like, again, going back to Judge Juan Marchand, he's not supposed to be donating to the Biden campaign and then presiding over a trial for Donald Trump. He's not supposed to be making decisions in that case because his daughter has clear connections to the opposition of Donald Trump. I mean, for all of those reasons, I mean, if the court had acted in the way that it should have, then Marchand should have recused himself from that case. He never should have been able to sit on it. But he just said, no, I can be totally impartial. I don't need to recuse myself. But that was obviously not the way that it was. I mean, and here we are, obviously, the process is taking its natural course. But I mean, at the end of the day, Donald Trump would have been embroiled in appeals and then taking it to the Supreme Court, but nothing would have happened to Marchand. And that would have allowed him to remain on the bench. And here he is, still sits today, and he can continue to be a partial judge on whatever it is that he wants to rule on, but then having this, false preconception of impartiality. It simply doesn't exist.
Well, Marchand shouldn't have been on that case in the first place. He's definitely not going to recuse himself. He wasn't even seated on that panel in that court. He wasn't a seated judge in that court. He was a fill-in, an alternate, essentially. So you got to figure out who the chief justice or whoever the chief judge of that court that brought him in to preside over that case was. And going to Ash's case, yeah, Ash won that case, but that case never should have been in a courtroom. And that's where the corruption in Ash's case lies. That case never should have been in a courtroom. It should have been dismissed. Granted, the judge did very well. And I think, as Ash will say, that's because she has an impartiality to pro se litigants. But the other thing about the case out there was, I think there was something about what happened there.
I don't know.
Oh. John's like telling me to shut up, so I'll just.
No, I would remove you from the screen if I wanted you to shut up. Keep going.
Oh, no. I don't want to get too into it because I don't know the details of the prior judge, but her case never should have been in court. And in her case, what you really need to go after is the corruption in the Secretary of State's office and for redactions that never should have been redacted. Overclassification.
Should we probably talk about the plane crashes?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was another
That's not too exciting, guys.
All right.
Somebody in the chat was asking us to slow the chat room down. We can't. You can. You can throw on slow chat in your own window. But the only way to stop the chat is for people to stop typing, and we would never suggest that because the conversation would stop.
Yeah. It's because the shows are so popular. We can't help it, guys.
That's right. Superstars over
Yeah, by the way, hit that thumbs up, everybody. That'd be appreciated. The plane crash. You guys see there's another one today? Obviously, I'm assuming.
Philadelphia, the row houses. Yeah. I wonder who lived in those houses. And do we know who was in the plane?
Yeah, there's like 6 people. It's like we're being told, allegedly, it was a medevac plane.
Okay.
And it was taken off right after a fueling, I guess. And 6 people on board, four crew, 1 little girl, and like her mom. They were like flying her back to Mexico or something, Tijuana, for back home.
So she was an illegal?
She came here for some treatment for something. They were flying her back, supposedly, allegedly.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, to me, it looked like it hit something or something hit it.
Can we see the video? I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
it was
looked
coming
like
out of the sky. It was coming out of the sky like a freaking missile, man. Like it was in a straight nose
straight
dive.
down, straight nose dive. Yep.
Well, let me show you something. Let me share my screen. Here we go. Okay, so this is like a doorbell cam.
Come on, guys, let's go to Chipotle.
Straight down.
But what I want you to notice is like it's flying, and then like right here it catches on fire.
Yeah.
Or it could be the lights. It might be in cloud cover.
Well, it was already on fire.
It catches on. Yeah. To me, I was like, I feel like it hit something, like a drone, maybe.
Didn't they say there were like oxygen tanks on board because it was a medevac thing? So maybe like one of the oxygen tanks exploded.
I mean, it
That can
definitely
happen.
If it was, it would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick Sorter had another video that made it look like a missile. I mean,
Nick Sorter has already put out some freaking obviously fake videos, and I just every time I see his name, I think, oh, I get to see a fake video now.
He's the worst. Well, not the worst. I shouldn't say the worst, but he is top 5 Twitter clickbait.
Is he the guy who will post a video and just say, "What do you see here?"
Oh, I hate those people. I don't think so. I don't know if he does that, but anyways, I believe I don't see any reason to believe the video is fake, but and it's not
reason to believe any. I don't see any reason to believe any video is real.
Well, there was the Hitachi teacher sent a picture to Abs, and it was a picture of an undamaged O2 tank on the ground at the scene, like it had just fallen out of the plane and didn't explode itself, which was very reminiscent of the the old passport, like a 9/11 and stuff. So that's
what he looks like.
Suspect.
That's him. Yeah. So there's another guy who is a far worse offender that I was actually thinking of. Matt Wallace. That's him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Wallace. He's the king of clickbait.
I mean, this looks like it's out of a movie.
I think you went a little too far. Go back.
There's somebody
oh my God!
fire,
Somebody's walking around on fire. Holy shit!
Yeah,
but how would they be?
Adrenaline, dude.
I guess
that must have been. I mean, those houses were full of people. We're talking about three-story
came out of their
homes.
house or something. Yeah.
I think it was like in the middle of a street. Like I don't know if it was houses.
I heard that it went down into the roofs of the house or something like that. Oh, were those the occupants?
And didn't somebody say it hit a mall or something too? Like I'd heard that reported.
Was it next to a mall? Maybe. I thought I saw a video where. Yeah, it says it slammed into a row of houses. So like this right here. This is the first thing he says. But when you look at the video of where it actually hit later on, if I can find it, it's like clearly, right here. I don't think that's rows of houses. It landed.
Residential. Who knows?
I mean, it kind of looks okay. So those are houses, right? I mean, it might have like hit like the top edge and then continued down the street or something like that. I don't know.
Straight down.
Like apartments or something.
It looked like it was falling. It didn't look like it was flying. And gosh, I wish we could zoom in on that.
I mean, this is too fast for falling.
Yeah.
Look at that.
This is the one that is really bad, John.
That was like a nosedive.
You can share your screen, bro.
Oh, I guess I could, but I didn't want to.
Don't want to what?
Whoa!
What is the?
That was a free fall.
Who is the provider of this video?
This is the Sorter video I was telling you about.
Sorter took it personally.
Yeah, that was fast.
Yeah,
it's messed up.
Yeah,
right on the heels of the other one. Which
I think somebody did post that the ADSB tracking that plane as it went down. So who knows? Who knows?
What are the odds?
Well, at least we know it wasn't Tranny that was flying the Black Hawk now.
They won't release one of the names.
They released the woman's name. Yeah.
That's family's request. That's the family. That's what we're being told anyway. The family is requesting not to release the name, which I think they can only do that for like 72 hours if there's a mass casualty event. I read.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, I actually know somebody affiliated with Badlands who knows somebody that was in the Washington D.C. plane.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
That's awful.
I forgot to ask for permission to talk about that, so I'm not going to say who. But you all four of you know her.
I saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Keith O'Higgins said Sorter just identified that guy as a Bernie bro. I think you meant to say a burn bro.
Angie K says it's a collection of Ring doorbell vids, which are all online to grab.
Wait, because somebody put them online, or because your Ring doorbell cams are normally online? Because if it's the latter, fuck those things.
I'm sure they're posted online.
Somebody came to my door the other day trying to solicit us to buy a Ring doorbell cam, and my wife is like, there's no way in hell my husband's going to buy any sort of security camera that connects to the internet.
I just live my life assuming that I'm always on camera.
Yeah. I just don't want other people having that kind of access to my home.
Yeah.
Are other people going to have access other than the feds who are currently all watching me?
Those are the ones I'm worried about.
Oh, I'm not worried about them.
Oh, I'm totally.
They're gonna watch me all the time, no matter what I do.
It's true.
So Ring cameras can be very useful, though. My buddy during the fires, the first night when they got evacuated, his wife made him leave. Like their house literally backs up to Eaton Canyon where the fire started. She's like, "You're not staying behind. Let's go." Well, one of the dudes on his street, there's some guy named Jeff, stayed behind, and my buddy was at his in-laws' house, and he's watching through his Ring camera this guy Jeff like just putting out fires left and right on the street, like bushes were going up and he was over there with a hose, or like a car caught up, all night long. So the next day my friend was like, I'm not letting that dude do it again by himself. So he actually had to sneak back to his house. He had to like cut through a fence and a golf course that's below Eaton Canyon right there, and then hike through the canyon and get back up to his house. And he was like stuck there by himself for like 7 days because they wouldn't let anybody else back up there. But him and Jeff basically saved their whole street.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I have to hand it to people that had that kind of bravery to just stay behind and take matters in their own hands, because the fire trucks never even came to that area. So yeah, anyways, Ring cameras, useful tool.
I used back when I lived in Michigan, I saw a guy break into my car and steal my wallet using my security cameras. Yeah. I lived on a dead end, and it wasn't the first time that my car had been broken into living on a dead end, but it was the first time that I was really, they totally screwed me. Like they took my wallet. Well, there was cash in there because I just cashed my check that day. And
wait, you left your wallet in your car?
It was an accident, dude. And
Okay,
I've never done it ever again. But
yeah.
I actually have like a tracker on my wallet now, so that I know if it's not like on me, but it's always in the house now.
You have a tracker on your wallet?
I do have a
Apple
tracker. Yeah. It's actually like, it's just like
AirTag?
well, I mean, it's essentially an AirTag. It's the size of a credit card though. It's like an aftermarket thing. And so it just fits right in there. I use, what do they call it? The Ridge wallet. It's just, it's just like the bundle of cards. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's
the greatest invention ever.
Yeah. They're totally sweet. And so I've got a credit card that is an Apple AirTag that goes in there, and I can always see where it is. I can, set off a sound alarm on it if I can't find it. But he took my wallet, took all of my cash. That was totally gone. But he immediately went to Myers and racked up a lot of money on groceries. He bought nearly $1,000 worth of groceries, and then he went online and ordered close to, I don't know, $20,000 worth of electronics on a number of different credit cards. And so I wake up in the morning and I see all of these notifications for these charges. And I was right in the process of trying to buy a house down here. Oh. And the application for the financing hadn't gone through yet. And he dinged my credit so hard that it dropped me into a lower credit bracket.
And higher interest rate.
Yeah. And so because of that, I got all of the money back from the credit cards, and even the money that he spent on my debit card, they returned that. But yeah, I wasn't able to buy a house for like another year and a half, basically.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was a bummer.
They paid it back, but they didn't fix your credit score?
No, funnily enough, they don't do that. They are more than it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like once it's on there, it's on there. And the credit companies don't take it off. They're just like, yeah, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, but now I'm happy to say that my credit is over 800, even though that's totally worthless to me at this point. But it's just a matter of personal pride.
Hell yeah.
We got
Did
a
you guys
bot in
see-
chat.
Did you guys see Donald Trump Jr.'s tweet about Kamala Harris's landing page?
Oh yeah.
No?
Yeah, that's funny. That was real.
This is real.
Yeah, if you go to the link, that actually shows up.
For those that can't see, it's a 404 error that says this page has been unburdened by what has been.
So good.
I love this
So good.
administration so much.
It's epic. It is so epic, man.
Dude,
Did you guys see the reports? Like, so yesterday one came out about Bob Menendez, Senator Menendez, asking Trump essentially for a pardon, calling out, saying Trump was right. New York is corrupt as fuck.
Yeah.
New York is corrupt as fuck. And then the press is like, he says, I hope he cleans it up. And the press is like, are you asking for a pardon? Then New York Mayor Eric Adams, there's rumors going around about him getting asking for a pardon. And then Sam Bankman-Fried's parents are now requesting a pardon. And I'm like, yo, get all three of those motherfuckers on Team Trump. Because you got Menendez, who's been in the Foreign Relations Committee for forever. Yep. Adams, who knows everything going on in New York, and Bankman-Fried, who was laundering money from Ukraine back to the United States to fund the fucking Act Blue stuff, among other things. Hell yeah. Pardon all of them. Let them all out. Bring them to Mar-a-Lago, put them up in a missile-proof shack, and let's go.
Oh, and what? You mean like turn?
Yeah.
State's
Turn them. Oh yeah. State's witness.
That was the first thing that I thought when I saw that Menendez had been sentenced to 11 years and then asked for a pardon. I didn't see the content of his plea, but I thought, hey, sure, give him a pardon if he's willing to roll over on everybody else that he has evidence on as being dirty in Congress or outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down
Well,
with
and
that.
it's also a testament to BB's Our Boy Blue theory, because Joe Biden brought all these cases. His DOJ brought all these cases, all three of them. And now he's given Trump the ammunition to go in there and flip these guys. Hey, you don't want to go to prison for 11 years? You better flip. Sam Bankman-Fried, you don't want to sit in jail for 25 years? You better flip. I love it, man. Let's go.
Let's do it.
That's an interesting theory, because Sam Bankman-Fried would connect all of this to Bill Gates and the World Economic Forum through a guy named William McCaskill from Oxford University.
Oh yeah,
he connects Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX to Bill Gates and the WEF.
But he's got a couple Stanford law professors for parents, and those are like the most commie of all the commies. They're like the West Coast Georgetown, George Mason. They're
yeah. So, what do you guys think about banning members of the Communist Party or DSA from serving in any capacity of government, federal service, or running for office? I mean, that's how it used to be in the United States. If you were a communist, you couldn't run for government, you couldn't work for government. Would you be comfortable with implementing something like that again? And I mean, I'm asking because I would.
Yes.
Yeah. And no dual citizenship with any country, including Israel.
Yeah. So I asked John because you don't think that would be a bad precedent to set. I mean, stifling people's right to join groups and freely associate.
No, what do you mean?
Well, because I mean, like, that's like part of the American way, is like, being able to join groups and have your own political ideology without fear of reprisal.
There is something to be said for that argument.
Yeah.
Why'd you specifically call me out though?
Well, because we were talking, you were saying that you didn't want to set precedent in the context of the judges earlier.
Yeah, You're the only one that looked like you had any like conscience and ethics. The rest of us were like, just take him outside.
You asked me if I'd be in favor with it, not if I'd if I think it would hold or be constitutional or anything like that.
Yeah,
I don't want communists in positions of power. I'm totally for people's free speech, though.
Okay, good. I mean, I'm not trying to do a gotcha or anything like that. But I mean, I was just genuinely curious. No, it was genuine curiosity. Genuine curiosity. Okay.
Is someone talking about doing that, Zach? Is somebody talking about banning the Communist Party?
Well,
no, he's just trying to get me in a gotcha.
No. This is something that I personally have been lobbying for quite some time, and I think that now, under the current system that we have, I think it's possible that we could actually do it. I think it's necessary because it goes back to the conversation we were having about judges previously. I mean, you've got communists that are sitting on the bench, and that could potentially be a way to remove them.
Yeah, didn't we do something along those lines back in the 40s? Wasn't there kind of a big old communist purge? I remember seeing this in that movie. Patrick, what was that movie?
Majestic.
No, the movie about the nukes. What was it called?
Oppenheimer,
yeah, because they got rid of him because of the communism stuff.
Yeah, there was some McCarthyism going on back then. Right?
I mean, Joe McCarthy was onto something. I mean, but the threat of communism was used as a witch hunt and a precept to take people out when it was perhaps unfairly and unnecessarily done so. But I think that, at the heart of it, Joe McCarthy was dead on. I mean, communists were infiltrating the government, and, and not only the government, but obviously, Hollywood and stuff like that. There was a lot of communist sympathy. And at the time, the USSR was actively running operations here in the United States to seed communists. And, they also did a fair amount in, areas of activism as well, radicalizing, Black nationalists and stuff like that. So I think that it's something that we should definitely be paying attention to. And the argument that people should be able to freely associate has been used to sort of kind of back off on that, but obviously to the detriment of the country.
But there's a difference between freely associating and like running for actual office where you swear an oath to the Constitution, and communist is antithetical to the Constitution by its very nature. So you're either lying under oath when you're saying you uphold the Constitution, when it, it's completely against your beliefs as a communist. So I think you can make an argument that it's just unconstitutional to run for office as a communist. Yeah.
I don't know if Trump cares about the free speech thing, because didn't he just sign that anti-Semitism thing where people in support of Hamas are getting booted?
Isn't there? Didn't they pass? Well, there's a law that was passed that it's an anti-Semitism law, correct?
It didn't pass through Congress, but it did get passed in 40 state legislatures. Most of them, I think 35 of them or 37 of them were all Republican legislatures, but yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I think that I am not in favor of anti-Semitism laws. I think that that's totally ridiculous to single that out. I mean, if anything, we have a major problem with anti-Christian sentiment. Why not pass some type of anti-Christian thing? But I think that this is being used as a precept to get people with known terror affiliations out of the country. And I'm comfortable with that.
Scott, Zach, you scared me for a second there. You began the sentence with, "I'm not in favor of anti-Semitism," and my heart dropped into my and then you said laws, and I felt a lot better.
Yeah. To be honest, I actually think those Republican laws at the state level are actually designed, because really what they do is they outlaw criticism of Zionism, which the definition includes certain criticisms of the government of Israel. And I think that's from the regime standpoint, I think that's meant to set a precedent long term to outlaw criticism against the U.S. government, because eventually they would say, all right, well, now if you criticize Jewish congressmen, you're engaging in anti-Semitism. And then eventually they'll say, all right, all congressmen, 20 years from now, if we kept on this road, I think that's the plan. But it's like a vehicle. It's a Trojan horse.
That move was probably the most surprising one I've seen out of Trump so far. Wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah.
Well, I think pretty much everything he does, there's a subtext and there's an underlying motive that perhaps isn't necessarily obvious at the outset. And I can totally, I had considered the fact, an anti-Semitism bill is sort of like a backdoor maneuver to get rid of people who are dangerous to the United States of America. And these people have taken over on college campuses, and overwhelmingly they're leftists, in addition to, whatever groups they affiliate with. So, we could, at the end of it, just declare we won. We beat anti-Semitism. We don't need to have these things in place anymore.
Yeah.
Ghost, didn't you make the point in the brief that like a lot of those anti-Israel protesters were actual Jewish students?
That's what Trump said.
Trump said that. Okay.
Trump said that in an interview on October 7th, like the 1 year anniversary. He was asked about it, and he said, actually, a lot of the troublemakers, the rioters, were actually Jewish. And then the host or the interviewer kind of changed the subject, but
whoa.
yeah, exactly.
It's the cut.
Yeah.
Let's go to a commercial.
But that could be like a narrative seeding for. I mean, if that ends up coming to fruition, that could be a narrative seeding for like false flag kind of stuff. Because remember, there was evidence that, like, for instance, Ukrainian operatives were at J6. So like that kind of stuff could all come full circle.
Well, that's why demanding the names of all the agents involved in the Haneye case is really interesting.
Yeah, that's really, really interesting that they did that.
Yes. And now Answar is also named in that lawsuit, in that criminal case as well. What's his first name? Yanwin
Yinwar, I think.
Yinwar Answar.
Ansong Si Chu.
So unpopular opinion here, guys. I think banning communism would be completely and totally unconstitutional.
See, that's what I was worried about.
Banning.
It's already been ruled that.
So what
is Roble?
The appropriate way to approach that, because I agree. I think when you get into banning certain labels and identities, it's like that's when you're playing identity politics just from the other side. Really, the ideology that needs to be scrutinized is the idea of prioritizing the state over the individual, because the foundation of America is prioritizing the individual over the state, and every other form of government that's ever existed does the inverse. And National Socialism, all these different ideas that are getting pushed, all of them prioritize service to the state, especially when you look at places like Israel, where they require conscription in the military for everyone. Everyone has to serve the state. They have certain protocols in place where they will kill an IDF soldier who's being captured because they view it as a national security threat for that soldier to fall into the hands of the enemy and then divulge information that would put other people at risk. So they kill the person along with the terrorists instead of them being surrendered. So see, like when you look at it from that perspective, it's a machine, and basically the individuals don't matter. And that's inherently anti-American. And so that's the ideology that has to be pushed back against, not necessarily specific parties or labels.
Yeah. But the First Amendment aspect of it is, people are going to talk about that stuff, and you can't like prevent them from doing it. But Trump's going after that kind of ideology. The most socialistic institution we have in this country is our public education, and Trump's going after that with this, with the school choice stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing about communism and like, I mean, I disavow communism. I think under our republic, you should be allowed to talk about it if you so choose. But communism has been used to prop up the intelligence apparatus in this country, going all the way back to Donovan and the foundation of the CIA, Hoover and the establishment of the FBI, or the Bureau of Investigations, to the Federal Bureau of Investigations. And they've always kind of used communism and the Red Scare as like this scapegoat to insist on counterintelligence and everything else that we literally bitch about every day here. The CIA's involvement, the FBI's involvement. I think, to me personally, if we had free and fair elections, communism wouldn't even be a thing here. Nobody ultimately wants communism. It's fucking absurd. But they have such a small faction that controls, the power from the top down in a way that they're able to influence, small individual groups under cultural Marxism, and this idea that, they're the oppressed ones. It's basically the Bolsheviks trying to create a vacuum in the United States. But I mean, communism obviously sucks ass. It's horrible. However, it's also used to continue to turn the screws on us in terms of censorship and monitoring us, etc.
And John, didn't we go over that on Baseless? I mean, I know that Brad, I think, I think that we did it on Baseless, and then Brad and I talked about it in another conversation on Altered. But
I don't know if we did on Baseless.
Didn't we do an episode on communism, commie infiltration into the United States government?
I think that was Scientology, wasn't it?
Well, we did Scientology too, but I mean, at this point, we got a couple hundred episodes. I feel like
it's hard to remember. I was looking at that today though, because I was talking about the school choice thing and how free education, public education, is part of one of the tenets.
Yeah. So to Brian's point, obviously, communism sucks when you look at it in its totality. But what they've done, evident from that list that John just pulled up, is that they've taken select talking points and then sort of positioned it with a rosy framework. Look at this, what a wonderful thing. We will provide free education for the children. But then they totally leave out the fact that it's not going to be really about making anybody smarter or giving them relevant information. It's all about the brainwashing and the control of the next generation of children so that they can then be indoctrinated into these other various things. And the thing that really makes me nervous about commies in the judiciary is the idea of private property. And, that's one of the things that they want, that they have publicly stated that they want to push away, is that, the idea that there really is nothing private, and it's not just your property, it's your actual, your thoughts, your private life. The government has a right, as far as they're concerned, to have their fingers in absolutely every single aspect of your life. And, it is all at the end in service to the state.
Do we really have private property though? I mean, Gordon and I covered on Daily this week in California, telling people they can't go back to their house and having to go get a permit to go back there. You pay property taxes, which is basically rent for your own property. Search warrants have been obtained, especially with everything going on with J6. I mean, misdemeanor trespassing 900 miles away could allow the FBI to come down to your home in a completely separate state and raid you over a charge that would be a fucking written warrant anywhere else. So do we really have property? I mean, I guess we do, but
no, you're absolutely right. And all of these things are, elements that obviously can be argued need to be rolled back. I mean, we have gradually had the substance of our rights stripped away over the last 250 years. And it's happened at such a slow pace, in the interest of national security, in the interest of officer safety, in the interest of the state. All of that needs to change.
Yeah. Maybe Trump will also allow us to not pay property taxes.
That would be so freaking awesome. Can you imagine?
That would be just for sure. And constitutional.
States would have to do that, would they not? Property taxes are levied by the states.
Correct.
So how about Trump levying those tariffs starting tomorrow on Mexico and Canada?
25%.
Bingo.
I want to know how much revenue comes in from those things. And I also want to know how much of our purchasing from Mexico here in Texas, for example, changes. We buy a bunch of, need to roll back the faggotry.
Amen.
Perfect. I love it.
In Texas, we have... we buy a lot of Mexican cattle because I'm told that the Mexican cattle are leaner and the Texas cattle have more marbling. You mix them together, you get just the right amount of fat.
And they're spicier.
Sounds like bullshit, but maybe I'm wrong. But they're going to definitely, and they're also putting a moratorium on. According to them, they found screwworms in the cattle in Mexico. So they're halting it.
Fuck these people.
What are
screwworms? Survive 135-degree cook.
Canco, what are you going to do if we get into a trade war with Mexico and you can't go to Taco Bell anymore?
You think Taco Bell's from Mexico? Are you kidding me?
It's the most
American shit ever.
That's what makes it funny.
China.
That was a joke.
You guys want to hear a funny story? There's this taco cart that I love to go to in Benel. It's Don Ramos Tacos, and it's like Mexican style tacos. Have you ever had Mexican style street tacos?
Tijuana style street tacos.
That's
how do they differ? I don't think I have.
Okay, they're like the little soft tacos with the
it's a soft corn shell, just onion and cilantro. American style is going to have like lettuce and cheddar cheese and tomatoes.
I like when they put the corn, when they put the actual corn in there.
Yes, that's what we do here at the house when I cook tacos. I make a Mexican street style with the corn. Nothing like it. Anyways, So I've always go up there with my Trump stickers proudly emblazoned on the back of my car, and I park so that they can see every single time. And as soon as President Trump was elected, I started thinking to myself, I wonder if this cart is going to be around for much longer, because these people are straight off the boat. Okay. Total Mexicans. And the funny thing is that as soon as he started passing executive orders and the ICE raid started,
They're
the
gone.
cart
Taco truck's gone.
fucking disappeared.
Dude,
No way.
Zach, I have taco trucks literally on every block. There's like 3 of them in walking distance of my house, and I haven't checked to see if they're gone yet. But I will tell you, at work, there's a lot of Mexican people at my work, and I walked in on the break room, and there was a group of ladies talking about the immigration raids and all this stuff, and they're freaking the hell out. And
Are they illegal?
They're not, but pretty much half their family and friends are, so they're like freaking out, and they're seeing stuff on the Spanish TV showing them raiding schools and pulling out kids, and so they're believing all the propaganda. And so they asked me what I think about that, and I said just don't hang out with any criminals. They're going after the criminals. And they said, no, I saw a clip of like high school kids being dragged out. I go, they're probably gangbangers. And if your friends, if you want to give them any advice, just tell them, don't aid or abet any criminals, and you'll be fine. And so they're going on and on. And I said, do you know who deported more people than any president in history? It's Barack Obama. They actually called him the deporter in chief. 3.5 million people he deported. And they said, oh my God, they had no idea. I said, Trump's not even close to that pace yet. But the difference is Trump is going to close the revolving door. Obama deported all these people. They were right back the next week. It was just an inconvenience for them. They had to go back, do it all over again. But I think Trump is actually, going to close the freaking border so they can't come right back. And that's the important part of it. I had a friend, a normie conservative friend, who was very upset because he was running the numbers, and he says, oh, they said they arrested like 400 people. He's like, that's not even close. They need to be doing 5,000 to 6,000 a day in order to get rid of the 11 million that are here and all this stuff. In 4 years, I said, dude, that's not the issue. The issue is to keep them from coming back immediately, because that's what they do. You hear about these criminals. Oh, he was deported 6 times, but he's here again. Yeah. And that to me is the bigger issue, and that's what's really going to solve the problem.
Yeah, I mean, we do have, if we have 15 million illegals, just based on math, I've heard that too. We need to be deporting 5,000. But hey, a great way to support Badlands Media, guys. If you know the location of an illegal immigrant, send us the address so we can report them and collect the reward money for that. Because don't they pay like $1,000 or something?
Is that what it is? Reward money?
I didn't know there was reward
in South Florida.
I don't. I could have swore I saw something about a reward for that.
I don't think so.
We should actually
get some Nazi Germany stuff, man. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't like that. We should start. We're going to start a Badlands agency.
Oh, dude, you want to talk about our next sponsor though, real quick?
Absolutely, guys. I want to talk to you about Tulip Blooms. So we have a little bit of news. Tulip Blooms has grown somewhat, and we have gotten an office about 10 minutes away from my house, where we do all our fulfillment, where we make the product, we do all sorts of stuff. And I will have a studio there where I also do a lot of my broadcasting. It'll be sound treated and everything. One of the things about that is it is expensive. So we are offering a very, very special buy one, get one half off special on the amazing castor blend that everybody is talking about. It makes wrinkles disappear. It makes necks smoother. It makes old skin more supple. And we are hearing so much about it. Check out the constant 5-star reviews that we're getting. Buy one, get one half off. And then go to epicminerals.net for the Zeolite Extra Spray, the Epic Minerals Wellness Extra Capsules, and of course the silver, the colloidal silver extra. Buy one, get one half off. Just use promo code Badlands for an extra 10% off. And, of course, buy one, get one half off at tulipblooms.shop. Rainfall, body butter, all that good stuff. And epicminerals.net, all of those wonderful health supplements. Buy one, get one half off. Expires Sunday at midnight. So don't miss out. Promo code Badlands.
Patrick, you have some Valentine's? Do you have Valentine's?
Yeah, we have Valentine's boxes too. So get your Valentine's boxes.
Hey, because that's coming up. That's 2 weeks.
So get one, buy one, get one half off on Valentine's boxes. Thank you. Just click on seasonal or Valentine's on the left at tulipblooms.shop. Thank you for that. I can't believe I forgot. Yeah, we have Valentine's boxes, collections of 3 with wonderful like tissue paper that makes it look all Valentine-y. Slap a bow on it. Bam. You got a Valentine's Day gift.
It's a guy's best friend right there.
That's
Go
amazing.
to Tulip Blooms.
You are so smart, J-Tree.
By the way, I don't think there is a reward for illegals.
I think that was a joke. I think there was
Yeah.
some posted out there, and it was a joke.
There was a meme going around saying you would get $750 per illegal. That was a total meme. But in Missouri and Mississippi, there is legislation that's being proposed which would offer $1,000 for every successful arrest. And I've been talking about this because Mike Lee brought it up the other day, and now it's everywhere. The idea of using letters of marques and reprisals, which is essentially privateering, official pirate status with the United States government. We could literally start an illegal bounty hunting agency, go after the cartel, shoot up a safe house, take all of the valuables inside, and then bring it to the United States government. We would get 50% of the value. I know that probably between Brian and I alone, we would have enough weapons and gear. I've got body armor. I don't have a helmet, but I can probably work on that. But I think that's something that is very, very likely to happen. I mean, that's real. That would just need to get the approval. You go to the government, you say, hey, this is my organization. Likely something like Eric Prince's security firm would do that. Probably a lot of like private security firms would do it first. But I mean, we could put together something a little more informal and then just try our hand at it. I would be down. I think that would be sweet.
The butt pirates. Yeah, that sounds like
the butt pirates.
The butt pirates.
I got to show you guys this. Did you hear about the guy who got arrested for selling trade secrets to China?
John Rogers.
Yeah.
His
name is John Harold.
His middle name is John Harold. And
I saw John Harold getting arrested for selling secrets to China. And I was like, holy shit.
Looks like it could be your dad. Just throwing that out there.
Cash Patel News, of all things.
That's dude, that looks just like you in like 10 years.
Yeah, maybe even sooner with the way I'm balding.
I seriously thought somebody put you through an aging app.
No, but this Cash Patel News account, this has nothing to actually do with Cash Patel. And he's the one who posted like this, leaving out the last name. And I got tagged in this so many times. Like, why did Cash Patel do this? Is he trying to send you a message? Like,
there you go. There's your warning.
Good.
Shot across
the
bow.
This is ridiculous.
yeah,
We got to figure out if this guy actually exists.
I'm pretty sure he does. This was all over the place.
Dude, that would be so funny if Cash invented this guy just to troll you.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. Like using that same app they used to create that little girl. Y'all talked about it on your show.
Oh, the thispersondoesnotexist.com.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'll see if I can find more on it, Patrick, if you need some sauce.
Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with Judge Juan Merchan
Are you?
at the moment. So yeah,
Have you found anything that would hold him criminally liable that we could report to the new Department of Justice?
I'm trying to find something that indicates to me that he is corporeal.
You mean you don't believe he's a real thing? He's faking gay.
Nope. I did not say that.
Okay.
I said I'm trying to find evidence of his corporeality. And I don't got nothing yet.
Didn't
So
James O'Keefe follow him into his gym one morning?
Yeah.
That was Arthur Engoron.
Oh, that was Engoron. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Herpert. Judge
So
Herpert.
what would convince you, Patrick? It would like an OMG style video of him interacting with someone who you know to be corporeal?
No video convinces me of anything anymore.
Okay.
If I could find some, they've got faked up high school yearbook pictures of Alex Jones that are clearly fraudulent. So they do their best to create a paper trail for their fake people. There is supposedly Juan Merchan was appointed Supreme Court Justice of New York State in 2009. And his Wikipedia page didn't come into existence until 2022. So that's suspicious.
To be fair, in New York, the Supreme Court is not the Supreme Court. It's that's like the lower level court. They just call it the New York Supreme Court.
Yeah.
So there's
how many Supreme Courts do they have?
a lot. Like every district has a Supreme Court. The big courts in in New York are the Criminal Court of Appeals, is the equivalent of the Supreme Court.
So they have literally one Supreme Court for every
jurisdiction. So it's like your local court for your district.
That sure is an important piece of information. Thank you.
Yeah. So they say Supreme Court sounds like it's a big deal and like you should be.
Now, his Wikipedia article doesn't know what year he was born. It doesn't know his birthday. Just knows he was born in either 1960. It knows he was born in either 1961 or 1962. All of his pictures look like the same friggin'. I mean, it's just the same uncanny valley expression on his face.
I mean, to be fair, though, I mean, Wikipedia, I mean, obviously it's not a reliable source. And
that's
I mean,
why I'm on Ancestry.com right now.
Okay, cool. So, I mean,
his case, his past cases, his case history?
A couple of them, yeah.
Okay. Have you looked into yourself and see any reporting around it? And
someone dropped
a New York Times article from 2011 that does mention him. Now that he's just some schmuck instead of being an actual Supreme Court judge, then it definitely changes the way I look at this stuff. The expression Supreme Court should mean the Supreme Court. Thanks, New York.
Yeah.
I just dropped a link in the chat from Melinda, which appears to, this is judicial policy. I thought it was going to be sauce on Mershon.
I think that it might have been from a previous discussion.
Yeah.
This is about how to get rid of a judge, which, by the way, valuable. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cujo just posted his bio. So let's see what we got here.
What's his middle name again?
Manuel.
I was gonna say Manuel. That's great.
You were just being like racially profiling there, Zach, or did you know it was?
No, it was a total guess. I just thought that it was appropriate. It fit.
So he was born in Bogota, Colombia.
He's a Colombian. He's an immigrant. Yeah. Wow.
So
interesting.
That could explain the birth certificate because I don't know that they have birth certificates back in the 60s there. I know like in Mexico, like birth certificates are very difficult to get a long time ago, probably more modernized now, but he became the first in his family to attend college, earned his bachelor's in science from Baruch College in 1990.
Baruch.
Then pursued law, receiving his Juris Doctor from Hofstra University, like Jimmy Hofstra. No, that's Hofstra, not Hofstra.
Put this up on the screen.
Oh, I can.
Sorry, what did you say the middle name was again?
Manuel. Judge Manuel.
Go ahead. You can read it, Patrick.
I'm surprised you can't search like Pacer for the judges.
We might be able to. Now that I know that Supreme Court is no big thing, it does change my view of this case. However, there are other explanations for why he looks the way he looks. Juan Merchan is an American judge and former prosecutor currently serving as an acting justice of the New York State Supreme Court in New York County, Manhattan. Here is a detailed biography based on available information. Early life and education. Juan Manuel Merchan was born in 1962 in Bogota, Colombia. He immigrated to New York City at the age of 6 and was raised in Jackson Heights, Queens. He became the first in his family to attend college. He earned a Bachelor of Business Administration from Baruch College in 1990. Merchan then pursued law, receiving his Juris Doctor from Hofstra University School of Law in 1994, where he was involved with the Hofstra Environmental Law Digest and the Latino Law Students Association legal career. Merchan began his legal career as an assistant district attorney in New York County, working in both the trial division from 1994 to 1998 and the investigations division from 1998 to 1999. He then joined the New York Attorney General's office, first as a deputy assistant attorney general in Nassau County from 1999 to 2001, then as an assistant attorney general in charge of affirmative litigation for Nassau and Suffolk counties from 2001 to 2003, and later again in Nassau County from 2003 to 2006, judicial career. 2006, Merchan was appointed to the Bronx Family Court. He was appointed to the New York County Supreme Court criminal term in 2009 by Chief Administrative Judge Ann T. Pfau, where he has been serving as an acting justice since then. Merchan has also served on the New York Court of Claims since 2009. Notable cases. He's presided over several high-profile cases. Conviction of New York Police Department Sergeant William Eisenman in 2011 for perjury and official misconduct. I found an archived New York Times article mentioning Juan Merchan, and it was archived at web.archive.org, and the first snapshot is from the appropriate time.
Okay.
the case against Anna Gristina in 2012, who was accused of running an upscale prostitution ring. I can't find that article, but it's because the article was entitled Soccer Mom Madam, which is also the title of a movie and probably a couple of pornos. The 2022 criminal trial where the Trump Organization was convicted of 17 counts of. All right, now we're in all the fake shit. Yeah. So
can anybody find
cases.
A current signature from, or like any of the filings from Merchan? Because I found an old case from this was 2004. And he was the attorney. And his signature's on here. So if we can match this.
I have a signature. I found a signature that's on X.
Pull it.
Let's see.
All right. I don't know if it's easier for me to share it or just
send it and share it.
All right. Let's see.
Cam says, "Yep, a porno, Patrick."
Share it and then. All right. The links in the private chat.
Is there an IMDb for porno?
Yeah, it looks the same.
So
I think it's called IMDb.
Patrick, I just asked Grok. I said to Grok, "My name is Patrick Gunnels, and I was born in 1975. Please make a fake but highly credible bio suggesting I am a well-established judge in Texas." And it fucking did it.
Of course it did.
It fucking did it.
And it's that same damn expression on that face every single time. And his picture with his daughter is the one that really creeped me out, because it's like they took that expression and just stamped it on the face of a chick with long hair.
Wait, now I need to see the picture of him and his daughter.
And she's got that exact same friggin' bell.
Oh my gosh, you're right. He really does. Holy shit. That's creepy.
Here's the two signatures.
Looks good to me.
Yeah.
2004 case and whatever this picture's from, probably pretty recently, probably the Trump case.
Yeah, I think it's the Trump case.
So he appeared to have existed
But the
20 years ago.
certainly does.
Patrick, you presided over the State versus Martinez in 2012, Gonzalez versus the Austin Independent School District in 2014, the Texas Tech data breach litigation in 2016, Doe versus the City of Austin in 2018, the State versus Rivera in 2020. Oh my God. Versus Lone Star Gas Company in 2022. I just made up a whole fucking fake Judge Patrick Gunnels in Texas.
That's amazing.
Patrick, how's it feel to be one of those faggots in a black robe, man?
Can you include something about like the porn? Have him create a case for the porn thing or whatever.
Or have him be exposed for participation in hardcore pornography while serving on the bench.
He started a website, an IMDb for porn.
Could you picture Patrick in like the robes, like excoriating somebody?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to see him with one of those wigs on, the white ones with the powder in it, powdered wig. That would look cool on you, man.
Motherfucker.
Oh God.
Can you get
Scandal rocks Texas Judiciary. Judge Patrick Gunnels embroiled in explicit film controversy. Texas Judge Patrick Gunnels caught in scandalous hardcore gay pornography.
In a shocking revelation that has rocked the Texas judicial system, Travis County District Judge Patrick Gunnels has been exposed for his secret life in the world of hardcore gay pornography.
Oh, you had to make it gay too. You're just a dirty, filthy little bitch.
This bombshell comes after an anonymous source leaked explicit videos and images to local media outlets, leading to a whirlwind of controversy from bench to bedroom. Judge Gunnels, known for his progressive judicial rulings and respected community involvement, was allegedly involved in multiple adult films under the pseudonym Justice Jock.
Justice Jock.
Sources confirm that the videos, which span over a decade, depict Gunnels in various explicit sexual acts, contradicting the public persona he has maintained in his judicial role. The leak.
Wait, hold on. Where'd it go? There it is.
The explicit content was first brought to light when a video titled Gavel Bangers surfaced on an underground adult website. The video quality and distinctive tattoos of the actor matched those of Judge Gunnels, leading to an immediate media frenzy. Following this, more material was leaked, including behind-the-scenes footage of Gunnels discussing his dual life. Oh my God.
Dude,
I love how
bangers.
I can't believe it's gone to this level of detail. I mean,
dude,
oh my
AI
God.
is the best.
So all it takes now is for somebody to take that copy, put it into like a format on the website, or even just a screen grab where it looks like a news article, then make the Gavel Bangers like movie poster, like act like it's not, like put it on IMDb.
Why are you telling people how to do this?
Maybe a few AI images of Patrick like in like the robes, and literally you could disseminate the fake story that Patrick Gunnels actually is a judge. Who's like, that's how easy it is to fabricate reality.
And the sad part is,
would think it was real.
The sad thing is that people would believe it.
Yeah.
And then people would start talking about it. And then enough people would talk about it that someone would show up in the chat and say, Patrick, why wouldn't you address the fact that you're actually a gay porn star and a federal judge?
I'm this close to believing it. It was that realistic. I mean, I'm right there.
I think that horse just left the barn. I'm going to get the questions.
That's so funny. All caps in the chat over and over again. Patrick won't address his gay porn past. Patrick won't admit he's a federal judge.
Guys,
this is what's going to bring down Badlands.
I have not been able to find any kind of picture of Juan Merchan, born in 1962, but I did find this guy who's Juan Merchan, and here he is. Wait, where? There he is. Go, bam. So that's all I got, and I don't think that's the same guy.
That's from Tampa.
Yeah, that is
same year, same name.
Have you?
Date, that's the right year and all that. But yeah, he's a black guy, which you wouldn't think. And he looks like an American black, so I don't see why his name would be Juan Merchan. But there you go.
Well, I mean, he could be like Dominican or something like that.
Dominican or something. Yeah,
I guess. But would he wear that hair like that?
I mean, at that time period, it seems appropriate. Yeah.
You're right, though. It's weird that there's no like older pictures of him.
Well, I mean, he was unremarkable until
honestly,
very
like
recently.
even those high-profile cases they supposedly cite, they didn't sound very high-profile to me. Like
ring.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's scandalous a little bit, but it's not like anything that you should be now prosecuting the president of the United States. Like it seems like he was in over his
perfect. He's a cipher. He's a nothing.
He's a blank slate, right?
Your fake criminal or prosecution history, Patrick, or judge history was way more impressive than Merchan's.
I totally am down with that.
Thank you for doing right by me, Cam.
By the way, I accidentally rented Gavel Bangers, and Patrick,
imagine my surprise.
Yeah, I was like, I thought it was like one of those like Law and Order kind of shows.
It was a new Adam Sandler comedy.
Right.
Gavel Bangers,
great fake porn.
It can happen to anybody. It's a mistake we've all made.
The worst part is that Jay was on a date, and his date walks into the room at the moment that the gay porn begins.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I didn't know. I swear.
Oh my
goodness. Really good.
Gavel Banger is an IPA. It's a beer. It's an actual beer.
No way.
Buy that for you now, Patrick. Yeah, man. It's an actual beer. Look, check this out.
Beer is
Gavel
gayer
Banger
than Bud Light,
IPA.
man.
It's from Ohio at Taft's Ale House.
Oh, is that William Howard Taft on the beer?
Actually, it does look like Taft.
Yeah.
Or is it McKinley?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it'd be weird to put McKinley on a beer named Taft, but is he from Ohio? I don't know. I guess the lore of Taft's Ale House is not really necessarily important. I'm more concerned about Patrick's gay porn past.
As you should be.
This is also apparently a Gavel Banger, and as a cannabis connoisseur, I'm kind of curious, but at the same time, it looks concerning. I don't know.
Concerning.
Oh, it's for dabs.
That thing looks very flaccid.
Dude, I saw a kid on Reddit today dabbing a Tide Pod.
Oh,
what?
I thought that was like so 2017.
Yeah,
How did you survive that?
I don't know when it was from. I only know that I witnessed it, and I mean, frankly, that kid deserves to die. I mean, like that's like let's thin the gene pool at people who would be willing to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently,
what's so great about a freaking Tide Pod?
What's that?
What's so great about a Tide Pod?
There was like this online
yeah, it was
thing
one of
a
those
couple years ago where
TikTok
like
challenge
eating
thing.
things and
You know,
stuff.
It was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, social Darwinism, exactly. You guys ever watched the Brandon Herrera Darwin Awards?
Mm-mm.
It's firearm incidents, people removing themselves from the gene pool. So good, so good.
Dude, Darwin Awards have been around for like 3 decades now.
No, I know, but it's just great to see the series itself. I mean, it's obviously inspired by the old cliched meme, but yeah,
it's good stuff.
Do you have like an example? Something? Should I see?
Okay, so like somebody is at the range, their gun jams, and then they turn and look at the barrel and then unjam it at that moment and blow their head off.
Oh, so probably not something I want to show on screen.
Well, I mean, it's not they edit it for YouTube, but I mean, you get to the point enough where you understand what's going to happen. Or like, you know, say like an Afghan at a wedding and they're like firing an AK into the sky and then they just keep firing as they lower the weapon and then kill the bride and groom or something like that. Yeah.
Hey, Stu Peters is up to some bullshit.
As
In
usual.
what way?
What do you do now?
This time he's being a total freaking jagoff, and I'm gonna share it, but of course I have to hit share to add to stage. So there he is. I haven't looked into any of this because that's how I roll. But breaking, a Chinese national looks kind of hot, who was organizing pro-Hamas rallies at UCLA, has been arrested and had her visa revoked. She's going back to China, and of course, Stu Peters says, "This week it's this China woman. Next week it's you and me." So I wrote, I didn't know you were a Chinese national, but I'm perfectly your ass back.
Or that you were engaging in operations to destabilize the United States government.
Well,
I mean,
he definitely is doing that.
Yeah. Well, I have absolutely no problem with this. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
If we went to China and we organized like a protest, like like in China, they're super racist. Like they'll have signs up that say like no N-words, no blacks or whatever. If we went to China and we got a bunch of Ghanaian nationals and organized a protest, we would be lucky if all we got was to be deported.
Yeah. Did you see what happened with Stu and the Cash Patel hearing?
Yeah. They asked.
No. Like he Cash was asked questions about going on his podcast, and Cash said, "Well, I don't think I know him. I don't recall." And he's like, "Oh, you've been on his podcast this many times." Then like after the show, Stu Peters was like, "Yeah, I have text messages. We text all the time, or we used to anyway." Basically, trying to make it seem as if Cash perjured himself, and the leftist media was actually running with that.
Oh, great!
Really?
I mean, of course.
Well,
I mean,
Stu's a plant.
And they asked about X-22 as well. Lisa was like, "God, I hope they don't bring your name up." And I was like, "Yeah, they probably won't."
They brought up they alluded to Cash being an anti-Semite, and then in the next breath showed a picture of Cash Patel with Laura Loomer.
Yeah, is that your mic, Zach?
I think it might be. That's why I just unplugged it and plugged it back in.
They did following that Stu Peters part though. Me and Chris were watching that today on Daily. Cash goes on to say, like, I go on these shows to debunk conspiracy theories and devow them. And I thought that was really devow. And I thought that was really, it was really. I thought that was really interesting. The way
sounds like Devo.
Exactly.
And he never went on our shows.
They also gave Sean Morgan a shout out.
I saw that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yep,
that was pretty cool. Hope he's doing well. I haven't actually talked to him. I should text him. I haven't talked to him in a little while. I wonder if he's still in Brazil.
I was just going to ask, is he still in Brazil?
Wow.
Is he doing his own shows on his own channel, or is he?
Well, I know, like the reason he had to leave Badlands is because he was taking on more responsibility at the network he was at, the other one.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't talked to him in a while, so
good dude.
Reach out. It's like you still sound like you're.
I don't know. I don't think that's me because I've already like reset my mic and it doesn't do that. I mean, unless it's like totally broken at this point. Tell you what I'll do. I'll unplug for a minute, and we'll see if you still hear it.
Okay.
It goes away when you're actually talking, so maybe. Do you have fire alarms going off in your house? I see flickering lights.
He can't hear you.
Yeah, he can hear me. He can hear you, just can't talk. This is the best Zach ever.
No more filibuster.
It does look like there's UFOs flying around his room. Orbs.
I don't speak sign language.
Did the microphone thing go away?
Yeah.
That you were hearing?
Seems to have.
I thought I could still hear like some weird feedback going on, but
I think it's just ghosts on his machine.
it's a deep state attack.
So did they actually vote on cash yet, or like when does that happen?
No, they took an early weekend. They didn't.
Who said they wouldn't wait, like wouldn't stop? They would work through the weekends. Yeah, it's definitely Zach.
God dang it!
Yeah,
but Thune let them go early. They're not coming back till Monday at 3 p.m. So who knows?
Should have gotten a Shure SM7B.
It's not the mic. It's the panic button. It's the hard mute box that I've got. Which it's too expensive to be doing this. No, not a cloud lifter. It's just a foot pedal, so that like if I need to cough, I can just tap the foot, and then the mic will go off.
I bought a cloud lifter thing when I first got this mic, but anytime I tried plugging it in, and it wouldn't work. It only works if I plug the mic directly into the Rodecaster. Well,
not every microphone requires a cloud lifter or a booster, whatever they're called, and if it doesn't need it, then it can interfere with it.
That just wouldn't work at all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Chris uses one, but anyway, that's totally irrelevant. Anything going on? What else do you guys want to talk about?
Hey, I'll just give you a little news from California. Apparently, Newscum is officially getting recalled again. They turned in that petition.
It might work this time.
Definitely.
Yeah, hopefully it will. But I mean, people are really pissed off down here. And also, Trump turned the water on. Did you see that post he put with the water coming down to California? It really looked beautiful. I noticed there's just springs popping up everywhere. There's rivers flowing through here. It's great.
I wonder how long it'll actually take to like refill everything down there.
And then I heard on the radio today, Newsom gave some sort of executive order because we're getting a little bit of rain this weekend that, to fill up all the reservoirs and maximize the capture of this water. He's I mean, so obvious what he's trying to do is just follow in Trump's footsteps there and hope people don't notice that he's the idiot that is the reason why we don't have any water and our fire hydrants don't work.
So I saw some video of the LA River, and it appears to be like utterly contaminated because of all of the burn debris and the ash. And I was wondering if LA even has the ability to filter that stuff out, or if it's going to be like so polluted now they're just going to have to dump it into the ocean.
Yeah, I know, like in Pasadena where the fires were, you can't even drink the water with a filter or boil it or anything. It's just completely toxic. So, and then the other big story around here is they're going to set up, the EPA is setting up some sort of detox like dumps in neighborhoods, and they're going to have like all the toxic substances from these, burnt down houses put there and then eventually transported out. But people that live in those neighborhoods are like, the hell, man, like you're going to take all this toxic shit and put it right next to my house. So that people are kind of up in arms about that. And I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, the water is contaminated and who knows, but I think the water was already in the LA River was already contaminated by the amount of homeless people living in the LA River, just dumping their shit in there. So, yeah, bottled water only around here.
What's a little more solids per million? Who cares, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
move it over a couple decimal places.
John, I asked Grok, I said, make up a story about Donald Trump leaving office in 2020 after a stolen election and implementing a plan to secretly keep authority while allowing Joe Biden to masquerade as a fake president. You want to read it? It's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting.
Sounds good.
Let's give Patrick Gunnels the floor here. Judge Jock. Judge Jock, take it away, sir.
Nice.
Starting here.
In the shadow of a stormy election night in November 2020, Donald Trump, with his characteristic flair for drama, announced his departure from the Oval Office. The world watched as he spoke of a stolen election, a narrative that would become the cornerstone of an unprecedented political saga. As Trump publicly conceded defeat, he was already weaving a clandestine web of power retention. In a secret meeting at Mar-a-Lago, surrounded by his most loyal aides, Trump unveiled Operation Echo, a plan designed to maintain his influence over the nation while Joe Biden, whom Trump referred to as the puppet, took the stage as president. The plan was audacious. Trump would retreat into the shadows, but not before setting up a series of shadow councils. These were composed of former cabinet members, loyalists from various intelligence agencies, and tech moguls who had supported his campaign. Their role was to subtly guide policy from behind the scenes, influencing decisions through back-channel communication and strategic leaks to media allies. Biden, inaugurated in a ceremony that Trump boycotted, was portrayed in this narrative as a figurehead, a fake president whose strings were being pulled by Trump's hidden regime. Every policy move Biden made was dissected by Trump's shadow councils. They would either support decisions that aligned with Trump's vision or sabotage those that did not, even though orchestrated media campaigns that highlighted perceived failures or missteps. In this alternate reality, Trump used encrypted communication channels to issue executive suggestions to his network. These suggestions were often disguised as market analyses, opinion pieces, or even coded messages within popular TV shows, ensuring that the mainstream media were none the wiser. Meanwhile, Trump's public persona shifted. He became the host of a new reality show, The Real Deal, where he critiqued current political events, giving him a platform to speak directly to his base and subtly influence public opinion. His show was a hit, blending entertainment with political commentary, allowing him to maintain his influence without the official title of president. As the years passed, whispers of this shadow government began to seep into the public consciousness. Conspiracy theories proliferated, with some believing Trump was the real power, while others saw it as an elaborate hoax. The truth was obscured by layers of misinformation, making it nearly impossible to distinguish fact from fiction. In this tale, Trump's ultimate plan was not just to maintain power, but to position himself for a dramatic return, perhaps in 2024, where he could reclaim the presidency not as a usurper, but as a savior who had never truly left. The narrative ended with Trump in his Mar-a-Lago office watching a news broadcast of Biden, smiling wryly as he plotted his next move, always one step ahead in the political chess game he had never stopped playing.
Left a few things out, but it's pretty good.
I didn't like the he conceded defeat because he never did that. Other than that, that was pretty fucking good. That was pretty good.
The one thing I'm still waiting for from Trump is the darn election something. Anything.
Wasn't there a story in Just the News today about, like, I pulled it aside. I was going to cover it on Why We Vote tonight because I didn't have a chance to read it for daily. But Just the News had an article today about efforts, like 4 different facets of efforts to usher in election integrity.
I didn't see anything. Let me go look quick.
I can find it.
Is it the new administration making these efforts, or
Trump orders pledge Republicans. Oh, here it is. Republicans from local to federal levels focus on election integrity as new term session begins. It's got a subtitle for the White House, for Congress, for the states, and foreign funding and voter rolls. I don't know. Might be interesting.
So did you guys see Patrick Byrne on Eye of the Storm? And he was also on 8-Track's show, and he was basically saying that he's absolutely positive 2020 election stuff's going to come up very soon.
Good. He has been absolutely positive about a lot of shit.
Yeah,
for
I know.
A long ass time, and I just think his job is to talk a lot of bullshit.
Probably, but it's interesting anyways.
He's always interesting. He can't help but be interesting.
Yeah.
Every one of Trump's cabinet nominees, when asked the question about the 2020 election, they pretty much all answer it the same way.
Yes.
Like, did Trump lose the election? Well, Biden was certified as the winner, and he was the president the last 4 years. Like, Cash did that like 3 or 4 times.
Every one of them.
And then Russ Vogt came out and didn't follow the party line. He just says, "I believe that the 2020 election was rigged."
Yeah.
Based.
Super based.
Based.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
it.
Kyle Seraphin on last night on SitRep said Kash Patel's already FBI director. Like Alpha asked him, he's like, "How did all these people get fired if Kash Patel isn't director yet?" And Kyle's like, "Oh, he's director already," or something like that.
Well,
Well,
this had to happen now when he's not in there to give him it's a narrative shielding, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah,
Or
because
best
they were
time to
so
do it.
concerned. That was a question that came up so many times, like, will you promise to protect the jobs of these people? And now they're gone, so it doesn't even matter.
Little did they know, while they were asking those questions, those people were literally fucking being fired.
Yeah.
While they're
Some
asking
of all fears, man. It's like,
Yes.
that's all happening while they're being asked. It's so great.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about going through some rants? We got quite a few.
Let's do it.
Okay, let me just check for boosts real quick. By the way, guys, get your GART tickets if you haven't yet.
Vegas, baby.
Badlandsmedia.tv/events. Liberty Den. What's the date today?
31st.
31st. Okay. Skowens from the 26th says, "Great moat for the southern border ghost. I laughed so hard at this episode of the Liberty Den."
I want my shirt, bro.
You know who
When
that
are you
is?
gonna make a ghost? The moat shirts.
Oh, ghost.
Oh. Yeah, that was a good one.
All right. Patrick, you want to do the honors, my man?
You bet.
Do you have them on your side
$5.
or do I need to scroll?
I need you to scroll. I'm sorry.
All right. Okay.
$5 Patriot Memes 45, and there's an X link. Thank you very much, Patriot Memes. $117. Thank you so much. Micro Tool Maker Badlands. Where have you been all my life? Everyone on your shows and all your followers are part of the top IQ in this country. Very refreshing being here. Where we go one, we go all. I endorse that statement. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the generosity.
Thanks, MTN.
$1 Blasted Genetics. I love Donald Trump. Hardy face, hardy face, hardy face. Mason Q is now a monthly supporter. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And $3, Jackie Espada, a Atlanta Badlanders virtual meetup tomorrow at 7 p.m. The link is in our group. If you're in Georgia and want to join, message me on Telegram at Jackie_Espada. Hosts, if you'd like to join us, come party.
What time zone?
Oh, Atlanta?
Eastern, probably.
Eastern.
Yeah.
Eastern.
All right.
Jackie, let's go.
Cool, Jackie.
And $1 Blasted Genetics. Zach, that old look is off the charts.
Pretty damn good.
Play that shit again. Play that shit again.
Look at that.
Holy shit.
Is there any value?
Whoa.
Isn't that weird though? He has a woman's mouth.
I think he needs to be singing like a Cher song.
What did you use to make that?
Live in
I didn't
life
make it.
after love.
The guy who made the intro to my Devolution Power Hour.
Phil?
He's one of my filming it, yeah.
Hyluo AI.
It looks like the opening credits to Gavel Bangers.
No kidding.
$5. 12 Indie Boy feels like so much winning. Can't wait for the justice phase. See y'all in Vegas. Damn straight.
Yeah.
See you there, Ty.
Dude, this all started at the Ahern.
Yeah, it really did.
Mm-hmm. That's
All
right.
In full circle.
$5 Angie K. See where he is taking out the Visa college students being removed for support of Hamas?
Yep.
I did. And Stu Peters says it could be any one of us. I think that means that Stu Peters is actually a foreigner. I wonder where we can deport him to. $5 B1 car. I bet Patrick is upset because Elon won't send him to rescue the 2 astronauts stuck in space that need help to get back to Earth. Dude, that is bullshit. He needs to send me.
Wasn't that a George Clooney movie?
It isn't. Well, that would be Gravity.
Yeah.
Oh man, does anybody here think? Listen, I don't have an opinion on this. Does anybody here think that Adrian Dittman is Elon Musk? Is that a thing?
No.
Okay,
I don't.
that's too bad because Adrian Dittman just posted some dank flat Earth stuff.
That's pretty funny.
$20 Candy 08. R.I.P. Salwan Momika, a good Christian man who went to Sweden to seek refuge from Islam in Iraq, only to be killed by Islam in Sweden. Thank you for your work to expose truth. Thank you. And all right, rest in peace. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
$20. Mateo 127 Gunnels needs to be the next voice of the Netflix doc Life on Planet Earth, but with a flat ring to it. Just saying. He's right, by the way. He really is, guys. $1, Keith O'Higgins. Hey, Patrick, you said his mouth is too pretty now. Are you auditioning for Deliverance, the sequel? I am.
Jock baby, gavel bangers part 2.
And as if the person doing the super chat knew he was going to be right after Keith O'Higgins, $5, Roger Paul 59. Fuck him. Eye for an eye.
Yes.
$2. Angie K. Zach, it was Fortenberry that had the case suddenly dropped in the Ninth Circuit.
Yeah. Hoyt Fortenberry. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
I just saw this Rick Grinnell news. This is interesting.
Oh, yeah. Venezuela.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 people from Venezuela.
Hostages.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Venezuela? I thought Gaza was the hostage place.
No, well, yes, but apparently in a totally separate story, Rick Grinnell just negotiated the release of 6 people from Venezuela. He went down there and cut a deal with Maduro. I don't know. I didn't even know this was a thing.
He went there for something else, and then he came back with like 6. He didn't even say he was going there to negotiate.
Right, cool.
No, so Rubio's going down there this week. He's like doing a whole tour of Latin America, but Grinnell is going there to like, I don't know, set the stage, soften the blow. So that's what makes it most interesting is Rubio's the one that's coming next, but he gets down there and gets the hostages out before Rubio even gets there.
He kind of steals all his thunder.
Steal the thunder, yeah.
Well, it just makes you wonder what is Rubio going to do while he's down there? Like, is Rubio going to come back with more terrorists or hostages?
Might just come back with the Panama Canal.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think these guys are probably all spies, and we're just rescuing our own spies.
Colonel McGregor said
those are definitely
really,
CIA operatives.
And thank you very much, Venezuela, for not killing them. So
Colonel McGregor said something really interesting about the Panama Canal yesterday. He said that the whole narrative about China owning the canal is total BS. He said that they're like custodians who basically like do the maintenance work on it, and the only reason they're doing it is because America refused to do it. So the Panama people were like, okay, well, I guess we'll just go contract with China then, since y'all won't do it anymore. And he said it's really as simple as us just going down there, buying out the contract, and just assuming being the janitor for the Panama Canal.
There we go.
And we have John. Can you scroll up? $5 Gully 45.
Which way?
Yeah,
went the right way.
There you go.
$5 Gully 45. Arrest Obama, Biden, Clinton, and Bush for treason. All their appointments, including judges, are nullified.
Be nice if it was that simple.
$5 EC was here. Federal judges can be impeached. Impeachment is a political process and does not require any specific crime to have been committed. It has been way too long since this power has been exercised. Yep. And that reason is because 66 votes, 67 votes is just not a thing in our Senate. Seriously, a freaking judge could shoot the Pope and he would find 34 senators to not remove him.
Yep. Totally.
Let's see. $5. Mook Anon. President Trump is stressing the constitutional powers nonstop, recess appointments, and keep pressing forward. I really hope some recess appointments happen because that's my favorite part. What I want is for him to adjourn Congress against their will. I want to see that.
That'd be so badass.
$20. Mateo 127. A good friend of mine called me yesterday and told me that his uncle from the Army just got called from his upper stating to report to Gitmo. By upper, I think superior. I'm ready for heads to roll, figuratively speaking, maybe literally disavow. Thank you so much.
I mean, dude, after McGregor said, speaking of McGregor on Zach's show, he said the next president needs to be an axe murderer, figuratively, but maybe literally later. I mean, after that, I feel like all bets are off on being a glowy. It's like,
yeah,
he kind of took everyone's thunder there.
Don't get much worse than that.
$5, Black Hat Destroyer. How about we talk about permanently stripping judges in all the courts across the USA of their judicial immunity? They'll be scared spitless to pervert justice and the laws.
I like that.
Patrick will strip from his
those
robes
judges
just to be a
like gavel
pervert.
bangers.
Just as Jock will strip to be a pervert.
It's just so loaded with good words. $5, IB Fish. Biden ignored the Supreme Court and ended student loans for millions. Fine with me. Swindle a bunch of millennials into signing away their credit history for the rest of their lives. Cancel that shit. And then freaking just make the banks pay for it. There's a way to do that. $2, Keith O'Higgins. I have no problem with illegal aliens from Mexico having arms. My problem is legless Mexican women being called Consuelo.
Oh God, we're going to hell.
I just got that joke. Very good. $1, Keith O'Higgins. Nick Sortor just identified that burning guy as a Bernie bro. Oh, you're in pun mode right now. $2, Angie K. It's a collection of Ring doorbell vids, which are all online to grab. Okay. $5, The Real MAGA Mama. John, what's wrong? You seem down or just really tired.
Yeah, John. You okay, buddy?
You always seem good. You're always like this.
John's just black.
I'm pretty normal.
John's got a daily show now, man. He's
I got my kids this week.
Holy shit, John is such a normie on that show too. I love it, dude.
What do you mean?
You're calling him a normie?
Oh yeah. Have you guys not watched Daily Herald? I love it because I'm driving when it's on and I listen to it and I'm like, okay, I feel justified right now.
What do you mean?
Because you cover all the shows, all the same news stories I cover in almost the same way. Although you did a lot more with the executive orders, which is excellent.
Dude, I'm done with my show in 45 minutes, and you take 2.5 hours.
Done with your show in 45 minutes.
This is the kind of thing that can be verified immediately.
He's like at an hour, and he's like, "Oh my goodness, I'm out of time. Well, I guess I'll have to put this off to tomorrow." And I'm like, "No."
Daily Herald, 53 minutes. The Daily Herald, 49 minutes.
It's a really
Daily
good
Herald,
show.
56 minutes.
I don't think I've gotten to an hour yet.
It's just
maybe the first episode.
The Daily Herald, 58 minutes.
Yeah.
The Daily Herald, 1 minute, 1 hour, and 1 minute.
Yeah, and that's, guys, by the way, that's with ending the show and coming back and reading Rants. And there's like a 30-second outro in there, and then I go.
So you've got like 30 minutes of content.
I listen to it each
45
day.
to 50.
So
yeah.
I listen to it each day. It's fun to hear John kind of norm me out a little bit.
Yeah. Wouldn't say normie, but yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm trying to make it more accessible.
Badlands Daily, 2 hours, 3 minutes. Okay, sorry. Okay. $5. The Real MAGA Mama. Okay, here's another $5 for you. Thanks for all your crazy hard work this week. Get some coffee in the morning on me. Damn, John, you got a daily ass show now. You're really sticking with this, eh?
Gonna do it.
Oy vey. Okay, $1. Keith O'Higgins. Menendez wins if Trump gives him a pardon and then doesn't pardon his wife.
That'd be funny.
Doesn't pardon Menendez's wife. Menendez's wife got pinched too.
She did. Yeah, absolutely. She was part of the conspiracy.
Yep.
He had like 2 co-conspirators outside of that as well.
I will say it again. That dude was tossed under the bus by much bigger criminals than him.
He's that's Egypt too, right?
Yes, Egypt.
Interesting, because I guess
whatever
Trump's negotiating with them right now too. So
yeah, it's whatever Juan Merchan decided to give him, or whatever the incarnation of Juan Merchan decided to give him. $17. I Supreme. Remember in Star Wars Episode 3 when Palpatine commands Anakin to kill Dooku because he is too dangerous to be left alive. That is where we're at in this timeline. Take him out of the game. Pray after. Disavow, but not really.
But also, Anakin used to be good, and then that was something that made him evil.
Anakin was supposed to be
this is conversion to the dark side.
He
there.
turned the heel.
You were the chosen one.
Oh my gosh. $10. Digital Marine. On tape delay. Patrick is absolutely right. Constitution is common law as stated in the body. Judges are Roman civil law. Fine for the LA state. LA state. What does that mean? It's definitely not Los Angeles.
No.
I mean, I think they're just referring to the LA bureaucracy.
Patrick.
Patrick,
Earth probably round. BLPH, bad at law.
Zach, do you remember the guy that would show up drunk in our streams during the 1871 Act stuff? And he was like emailing you stuff? That's this guy, Digital Marine.
Oh, yeah. I remember this.
BLPH stands for.
Just going to throw it out there. Article 3 of the Constitution literally lays out judges. Go ahead.
$5. Mateo127 off topic. Had my first booty call in a while. I called, she answered and told me, come over. Nobody's here. I came over and she wasn't lying. Literally no one was there. I like that.
Nice.
$2. Keith O'Higgins. Serious question. Could Trump's 14th Amendment court test on immigration really hinge on sole sovereignty rights on national citizenship for all nations and their citizens and end dual citizenship? Maybe. I can tell you this. Dual citizenship as a concept is an abomination against nature.
Amen.
Who is your master? You can't serve two masters. Screw you. You either belong to this tribe or that tribe. You can't belong to more than one.
Amen.
Yeah, and especially in the context of holding elected office or even work.
The Jews.
There's a law that has been proposed to disclose dual citizenship among our elected representatives, and they won't fucking pass it.
Well, because they're all dual citizens.
Exactly.
They don't want to give up the ghost.
As soon as they get busted for diddling with children, they're going to run their asses over to whatever their secondary country is. Yeah.
How is there not a database for that?
It's not public record.
I mean, that should be public record for anybody who's a dual citizen. That should be disclosed. I mean, you're in office or not.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
You don't have to disclose it if you're running for office. They literally, I think it was last year, tried to pass a bill and they can't get it to the floor.
Yeah, I'm not saying just for office though either. I'm saying if you're a citizen in this country, you should disclose that you're also a citizen in any other country.
It would certainly be part of like the FBI background check quizzing process. So, I mean, it's on record somewhere, but they've gone to great lengths to ensure that the public is not aware of it. I actually, in researching this the other day, I did find an article from the Jerusalem Post talking about how many members of Congress were Jewish, and it's gotten progressively larger.
John, there's a great link that I put in the private chat for an outro of it's like a 2-minute video that Trump posted the other night of him just savaging members of the media.
All right.
Oh. I wish
I remember this video.
It sent that to you.
It's good.
Yeah. It's
How about Hat Tip CanCon?
Yeah, Hat Tip CanCon for sure.
$5. Mateo127. Just so we're all clear, I crossed the ocean, not the river. Spaniard lives matter. Ain't going anywhere.
Dude, Mateo, I'm turning you in so fast.
Okay. Anyway.
On ice as we speak.
Spain aired. Okay. $5. Ed Benson, Mississippi is offering $1,000 per illegal turned in. Wish they would do that here in Louisiana, but I'm happy to work for free.
Yep.
I would definitely not do that. $1. Keith O'Higgins. Someone said we can get 6 million illegals deported a year if we use Holocaust math.
Just about.
That's really actually true. By the way, you're an anti-Semite if you say it's 5,999,999.5. $7. Cam Cooksey. Ladies, remember it's Groundhog Day on Sunday, so treat your man the same way you do every day. Thank you. My God, Groundhog Day is coming up. That's nice.
That is nice.
$1. Jackie Espada. Cam's birthday is on Groundhog Day also. Love you, babe. Hey, also, guess what else? Ayn Rand. Birthday, Groundhog Day.
Oh, nice.
$20, 1027 JS. Good episode tonight. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
$1. Blasted Genetics. Has anyone checked Pacer lately for all those stacking indictments? Haven't heard much about that lately.
Good point.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I would imagine
Always
we
there.
will be. We probably will be sometime soon.
Maybe sooner rather than later.
$1 from Denise Ann 2. Zach, have you ever been to A1A Burrito Works? It's a taco shop in Flagler Beach. Started out super small and has grown to 4 locations in the area. Really miss living there and love their tacos.
Yes, I have been to A1A Burrito Works. I've only been to that location in Flagler Beach, which is still rather small. Outside seating only. I didn't know that they had other locations, but I'll have to check it out.
And it's amazing.
Okay, cool.
$1 Keith O'Higgins. I ran into a story on the internet about Dr. Patrick Gunnels operating on and turning large globed women into flat earthers.
Nice.
$2 Dirk McGurkin. They should play opera music in the background during the Senate hearings.
If they walk in one day and Trump just starts blasting Nessun Dorma over the PA system,
so good.
they're gonna panic. The doors just close. Everyone's locked in.
When his opera guy came out at the inauguration, I thought he was going to do that. I thought he was going to start singing that. That would have been epic.
$17. Mighty Brush 68. CanCon, dudes I work with were busting my ass for drinking Chianti while painting in my studio this week. Fucking troglodytes. Salute and Nazdarovia. You guys are the tip of the spear.
Salud.
So much.
Salute.
Did you drink that Chianti with some
Chianti, not Chianti.
Wait, hang on a second. He spelled it
Chianti.
Salute.
Chianti.
Salud. Salud.
Salud.
That's
It's Italian for cheers, basically.
Why would the E be silent at the end of an Italian
It's,
word?
it's not spelled right there.
It's
It should
not
be
with an E. It doesn't have an E.
SALUD.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I said SALUTE, and you guys acted like I had just spelled the word salute.
You're
No,
right,
no.
Patrick.
You're reading it correctly. It was just
Yes.
I think
It was
probably
it was a misspelling. You did read it correctly though.
Okay.
But so
$10. One resolute man. Guys, great show tonight. I'm still laughing my ass off at Judge Jock in Gavel Bangers.
it is too funny.
$5. Roger Paul 59. Keith O'Higgins, you're going to hell. LMAO. Thank you. $2. The real MAGA Mama Trump saving the country 24/7. John's snagged that link. $5. Kitty Kubiak. Elon speaks about the firmament. And there's the link. I'm more interested in that. John, can you snag that one for me?
Sure can. I'll put it in the private chat.
Thanks, dude. $1 Keith O'Higgins. For Roger 59, you mean hell as the synagogue of Satan, like in Revelation? The Bible would be the most anti-Semitic book in the world. I'll take that hypocrisy. Damn Skippy.
Wow.
Damn, Skippy.
The video that Mega Mama shared was a story about a Chicago garbage truck driver exchanging gunfire with 2 armed robbers, shooting one dead and the other in the neck.
nice.
Garbage man is a concealed carry license holder. 2A saved his life.
Hell yeah.
In Chicago? I didn't know that they allowed it in Chicago.
Well, why do you think all the robbers have guns themselves?
They're going to make a movie about that guy, probably.
That's really loud. But yeah, there's a story.
Nice.
Is that the last of the rants?
It is.
You want
Hey,
to see? Have you guys seen the video of somebody sent this to me of Trump's newest executive order? Of course, this is AI. So
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna preface it. Have you guys seen this?
I think so.
This
Yeah.
is
I've
great.
seen this. It's
Today,
good.
I am signing an executive order making it legal to call your friends fags and retards if they are doing something faggy or retarded. Fags and retards, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to start calling our friends this again. And we will. We're going to call them fags and retards again.
That's so good. I love it.
That's my whole elementary and middle school right there.
Yeah.
I feel
sure.
bad. I didn't know it was illegal. I've been calling my friends fags and retards this whole time.
Right before you watch what was the thing again? Bangers? Gavel bangers?
Gavel bangers.
Gavel
yeah.
bangers.
Hey, fags, retards, come in here. We're
All right,
watching gavel bangers again.
Before we go, I've been on Amazon. I'm not Amazon. I've been on Ancestry.com while y'all have been talking. And I found 3 yearbook pictures of Judge Merchan's daughter. And her picture is right there. And in every single one of the pictures, she's got that exact same expression.
Show us. Let's see it.
Yeah, I'm going to show you right now. Give me a sec. Sorry. Yearbooks. There's an extra step that I always forget. Add to stage. There we go. There's Lauren Merchant. You see that, Ghost? You were looking at her picture earlier, the one she took with her father, Juan.
Yep.
And there's that one. Same. I mean, just that same
look. Yeah, smirk.
Bam. Identical.
Holy shit. Dude, it's like they crop his face onto her.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, yeah.
Anyway, I'm unnerved because but, you know, she might, now I'm like, you know, there's her yearbook picture, guys. So take that for what it's worth.
Awesome.
I still am skeptical.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up. We are going to go out with that video you sent over, Ghost. So this better not suck.
We'll see.
That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, we'll see you guys all tomorrow on the Power Hour. Is Brad live tonight?
Let me see.
Doesn't he do it after DPH?
I know he does on Wednesdays. I can't.
Yeah, it looks like it's not on the Rumble page. They're probably not.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So we'll see you tomorrow night on the Power Hour. And thanks for joining, guys. Catch you later.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Hey, ciao.
We have very low unemployment rate in the US and we have a very high unemployment rate in France. How come? What's the recipe for?
Well, maybe we have a better president than you do.
New research says that there are, for immigrants on the whole,
Come on, try getting it out. Try getting it out.
I'll get it out.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to put this on television, but you don't even know what you're talking about. Try getting it out. Go ahead.
Question, sir, was what did you want President Zelensky to do about Vice President Biden and his son Hunter?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, it was just a follow-up of what I just asked you,
Listen,
sir.
listen, you ready? We have the president of Finland. Ask him a question.
I have one for him. I just wanted to follow up on the one that I asked you, which
Did
was,
you hear
what
me?
Did you want
Did you
him
hear
to
me?
Yes,
Ask
sir.
him a question.
I will, but
I've given you a long answer. Ask this gentleman a question. Don't be rude. Okay, question? Yeah, go ahead. Sure. She's shocked that I picked her.
No.
It's like in a state of shock.
I'm not thinking, Mr.
That's
President.
okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you want us to rein in Robert Mueller?
What a stupid question that is. What a stupid question. But I watch you a lot. You ask a lot of stupid questions.
Why do you keep calling this the Chinese virus? There
Because
are
it
people
comes
say
from
it's
China.
racist.
It's not racist at all. No, not at all. It comes from China.
President, overall, South Korea has done 5 times more tests than the U.S. per capita. Why is that?
I don't think that's true. Who are you with?
Yahoo News, and it's not true per capita.
Do you want to respond to that? If you have the numbers.
South Korea's testing was 11 per 100,000, and we're at 17 per 100,000. So
are you going to apologize, Yahoo? That's why you're Yahoo, and nobody knows who the hell you are.